Hello guys, my name is Dennis. Welcome to my channel Need Some Space. Today's video is gonna be a bit different and a bit longer because I have my closest friends with me in this video and they are going to share their experiences on how in the most simplest ways we are connected to the cosmos. So first, we will see how our consciousness is connected to the cosmos. My friend Vishnu is a teacher of spirituality and positivity. He also has a YouTube page for his teachings. So let's hear from him about the connection of the consciousness and the cosmos.
Hey all, hope you guys are doing well. My name is Vishnu and I am going to talk about consciousness and how we all are connected to each other and this entire cosmic manifestation through consciousness. Many philosophers, psychiatrists, and many other people who have done research about consciousness have came into conclusions many times that there is something known as cosmic consciousness and it's a higher level of consciousness and so on and so forth, and there are many books written on it. But the problem being that those things are all mental speculations and they are not factual in nature. Whereas when we look into the practices of spiritual practitioners and different kinds of schools of philosophies, how they preach about this particular thing, how they have realized souls who have realized this particular thing, you would understand that it is a matter of realization other than the matter of conception. So I would try to address such topics today. So I would be talking majorly from the Eastern traditions and Eastern practices. So to understand this particular thing, we have to understand that there is something known as pure consciousness. We all are conscious, but we all are not in a state of pure consciousness. I will tell you why. There is a particular saying in the Buddhist tradition that you are not a material body experiencing spiritual experiences. Rather, you are a spiritual being experiencing these material experiences. So that's the catch. We all are spiritual beings with this gross body and the subtle body. So this gross body is something that you see, that this is my hand, this is my face, that is my legs below the screen and so on. And there is something which is known as subtle body. So what is this subtle body made of? Is the mind which constantly pops up thoughts in our intellect, like let's do this, and that's the mind which is always giving suggestions. And there is something known as intellect or intelligence which makes the choice that we need to do that or we need not do that, which analyzes and plans. That's the intellect. And the third thing is the false ego, which binds our spirit soul or the pure consciousness with this mind and intelligence, and this mind is ultimately connected with our body and the sensory organs in it. So this is whole picture about how our body is, what our subtle body is, and what the consciousness is. Now what happens is that this false ego is something that makes us identify that we are this body, and enjoyments and miseries of this body is the ultimate. So our false ego makes us identify that this mind's problem is your problem, this body's problem is your problem, and so on and so forth. So beyond this false ego, there is a real ego that we all have, that we all are spiritual beings. And once we start practicing it through any kind of spiritual practices that we have, like we meditate or we listen to philosophies and we start realizing God and so on and so forth, the first realization is this, that we are not this body and we are not this mind, but we are spirit souls. And that spirit soul is something which we call pure consciousness or Brahman in the Eastern tradition. So this Brahman or pure consciousness is not only within you, but it is all around you. But because of your false ego and the way it is represented through the illusory energy, we cannot identify that Brahman or that pure consciousness from every living entity and everything around us. So once we attain this state of samadhi, that you all be. Samadhi means basically trance in English. Trance means you are involved in something and you have united with that particular thing that you cannot even estimate your own existence in it. And there is a higher level to it which is known as Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Nirvikalpa Samadhi means you are unable to distinguish between you and your surroundings also, which means that when you attain that pure consciousness or you become conscious about that divine existence, at a point your false ego fades away and you would understand that you are one with this entire cosmic manifestation. So this is how we all are connected.
Thank you, Vishnu, for some very deep explanation on that topic. Now let's take a look on how Cosmos helps sailors in the vastness of the ocean. My friend Jaslin, who is a sailor, is going to explain this topic, so let's hear it from him.
Hello everyone, my name is Justin Johnny and today I'm going to talk with you all about how stars, planets and other astronomical bodies help us with navigation. Sailing from one place to another has become an important part of my life now. Witnessing sunrise, sunsets, shooting stars, it's very fascinating to watch them. But do you all know that they can also help us with navigation? Traveling from oceans, seas, rivers and inland water bodies, with the current technology, it's very easy to plot your current position and where you want to navigate. Like if you want to go from one place to another, GPS gives you the exact spot like where you are and where you want to go. So just make a course through that line and you'll get to know. And other technicalities. But basically, east, west, north, south are the basic parameters of directions. In very simple terms, like if you know where the north is, then you can easily make out east, west and south. So let's talk about stars now. There are 56 stars that we can use for the purpose of navigation. There's a book called the Nautical Almanac which is a charted, calculated parameters of these stars. With some calculations, you can obtain a position line with which you can help us to get the position of the ship. So one of the favorite stars of the earlier sailors was Polaris. That is the North Star. If you find Polaris, you will know where the north is. So let me help you with that. There are three constellations that can be easily traced to find out Polaris. One is the Big Dipper, that is Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, which is the Little Dipper, and Cassiopeia. So the Big Dipper, that's the Ursa Major, looks like a spoon, somewhat like this. So the top two stars of the Big Dipper are Terak and Dubhe. If you draw a line from Terak to Dubhe and go forward 5 times the distance between the Terak and Dubhe, you will be able to locate Polaris. If you are in the northern hemisphere, if you go outside and it's a clear sky, you will be able to locate at least one of these three constellations and try finding Polaris. Well, this is a small part of how cosmos, stars, planets and other astronomical bodies help us with navigation. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaslin, for that explanation. That was indeed very fascinating to know. Now let's move ahead with the next topic, which is astrology. Vaishnav, who is one of my best friends and also a believer of astrology, will help us to explain the connection of astrology and cosmos.
Hi guys, this is Vaishnav Gopi and today I would like to share something about astrology. Astrology basically means a person giving you prediction based on the planetary positions. Let us understand more in a form of vibration. Just like Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of universe, you must think in the terms of vibration, energy and frequency. So every object has its own vibrations. In India, there are temples to make you feel the vibration of the deity. Deity means the worshipable idol. My grandparents used to say that this was the main reason that people used to go to temple in earlier days, just to feel the vibration of the deity and to enjoy the architectural arrangement of the temple. So every object you encounter has certain vibrations and that has some influence on you. Just take an example of Earth and the Moon. So Earth is mostly covered by water and high tide and low tide is decided by the moon. So our body is mostly covered with water, and don't you think that moon has some influence on us? Just like moon, there are other 9 planets which has influence on you. Sometimes you know it, sometimes you don't know it. So what does astrology does in this? Astrology takes your time of birth and date of birth to calculate the planetary positions when you were taking birth and align it with the current planetary positions and give you the predictions. So you can see how the things happening in cosmos is affecting you knowingly or unknowingly. It all depends upon 2 factors. One is which planet has more influence on you, and other depends upon the person. That every person is different and every person has different capability to take these kinds of vibration. There are many things to tackle these kinds of vibration, and there are many things to make it less effective. This was astrology in a nutshell. So if you kind of believe in these things, then you should go to an authentic source to get your predictions done, because there are many people that can fool you in these type of things.
Thank you, Vaishnav, for such a nice explanation. And this video will be incomplete without the creator of the cosmos, which is God. My friend Akshay, who is a strong religious believer of God, is going to explain the connection of God and the cosmos. So let's hear it from him.
Hello everyone, myself Akshay. Today I'll be speaking on universe and God. Our universe is so huge that it's even impossible to imagine the end of it. Speaking about the creation of the universe, I'm a true believer of God. I believe God created the universe. But today I'll speak for everyone who believes in God and who do not believe in God. Everyone must have heard this saying that if there is a creation, there is a creator. But it doesn't end here. It leads to a question asking, how did a creator came into existence? If we talk scientifically, it says matter is neither created nor destroyed, but matter does exist without a creation. In a similar way, why can't a creator just exist? Even if we say there is no God, but deep down we all know there is some supernatural power out there which helped in the creation of such mysterious, complicated and unexplainable universe. Let's talk about how universe helps us. Everything around us helps for our survival, from all small things to all the other things in the space or around us. The alignment of the planet and stars, the earth perfectly placed in around the sun, the stars not too close to our solar system. Even if there is a slightest change in these things, our existence would have not been possible. For example, Jupiter is placed perfectly outside the asteroid belt. If it would have been inside the asteroid belt, it would have pulled the Earth towards itself because the gravitational force of the Jupiter is much greater than that of the Earth. Like this, there are many other things which helps in our survival. The universe has given the Earth to live. The Earth which keeps everything in free, water, food and air, and ask nothing in return. It's the humans which have placed a price tag for each and everything. I just want to conclude by saying everything has certain limit except for our mind. Thinking never stops, right? Being such an evolved species on Earth is itself the greatest gift of the universe. We know what is good and bad. We should use this to an advantage to create a better world for everyone. We should explore more into science, discover mysterious things around us, but we should never fail to believe in the ultimate power, because when we fail, the universe doesn't. We should be thankful enough for all the things which plays an important role to keep us all alive, and not misuse the great gift, life, given to us by God, or universe for the ones who do not believe in God.
So these are some ways in which we are connected to the cosmos. So just like humans are connected to the cosmos, if you could connect to this video, do not forget to like, comment your views, share this video and hit the subscribe button. See you next Sunday. Take care.